First rates on your screen. It's not a very scary start to a Wednesday morning. 110 points off for the Bank Nifty, approximately 40 points off for the Nifty, and 92 points off for the Sensex. So nothing large which could be identified as a big loser or a big gainer. I'm trying to first, look at the screen in terms of the volume activity. Vedanta, Tata Steel, Nalco, the impact of impact of selling in metal prices. The sentimental impact is always immediate for metal. So Vedanta is off by 3%. There is selling which has intensified in Hindalco, that takes it down to 234. And for Tata Steel also, the picture exactly cannot be called as very, very rosy. That's the large part, that's the real metal impact. Let me identify stocks where the transaction value already has started. And Bansali Engineering, I don't track this one, I must confess ignorance. But 160 rupees of Bansali Engineering today it has traded so far more than Reliance and Tata Steel put together. Lux Industries, God knows what's going on there. It's trending upon very strong volumes. And then you've got very strong and constructive price action, which is visible in Infosys, which is at 988.
Yeah. Lux Industries, I think, had some news to it. I'm just going to take out, the numbers came out and I'm just going to dig them out for you. Lux Industries, the sales came in lower by nearly about 15%. The EBITDA as well was down 15%. Margins saw a flattish performance and the PAT as well saw a downtick of 22%. But yeah, stock is holding out. Anyway, talking about earnings, check out Dish TV. While the consolidated numbers still seem to be under pressure, they continue to post a loss, but brokerages are pretty upbeat. So today itself, you've got two brokerages which have maintained their buy, both Nomura as well as Citi on Dish TV. However, the stock is under pressure, down about 2% after the numbers. Shilpa Medicare, it's a fairly illiquid stock, but they've got a Form 483 for one of their units, wherein there have been 7 observations, improvement in procedures which have been reported, 3 observations on analytical specifications which have been marked out by the US FDA. That's a stock which is open gap down by about 5.5% as we speak. 5 Paisa Capital, Nirmal Jain has bought about 1.28 lakh shares, promoter buying into the company. Maybe you see some big moves. Yeah, sure enough, 5% higher for 5 Paisa Capital as well. The big SOPs coming in for exporters, a huge relief package to the tune of about 8,500 crore rupees. So I just want to quickly revisit what the textile plays may be up to, what some of the leather plays as well may be doing. Let's get the entire basket of the textile names, starting off with the Gokuldas Exports, etc. Maybe an Arvind as well are likely to see some positive rub-off. Aside of that, some of the big movers from yesterday, look at Gokuldas, a 2% uptick coming in there. Arvind not quite. It's become more of a branded textile play as opposed to a pure play export company. That's Arvind, which is starting off flattish. And maybe a Mirza Tanneries as well. This is typically when there is a SOP for the sector. That's the only time perhaps you mark stocks like these. That also could be well under focus. The big movers from yesterday, and with a surprise rebound coming in for the entire banking and financial space, what with the move coming in on Shriram Transport, you also had an SBI, Yes Bank pulled out very smartly, L&T Finance did very well. And then the high flyer from yesterday, Jet Airways, want to definitely revisit a good 6% odd move coming in on Jet just yesterday. Whether or not those gains are staying put, not quite. It started off flattish. And the markets as well, Tanveen, much in line with what Asia has been doing.
Oh yes, indeed. We've highlighted 5 Paisa Capital. Just some more bulk announcements. Century Textiles, Signet Industries has bought 1.78 crore shares at a price of 1295. That's the purchase that's happened for Century Textiles. Not that that's moved the needle on the stock. GNA Exiles and Maninder Singh has sold 2 lakh shares. The buyer has been, so I think this seems like an inter-promoter or an HNI transfer of shares. GNA Exiles is flat in the session, and then Sikal, I think a listed entity or maybe a group business may have bought about 3.68 lakh shares at a price of 215. So Sikal Logistics, I think, would be in focus on the back of that news. Just want to highlight some of the other movers. Escorts and India Ratings has upgraded the short-term rating for Escorts to A1 plus, long-term rating to A plus, with the outlook being positive. Now, this may not have an immediate impact, but it increases their accessibility to funds and improve their credit profile in the lieu of expansion. So that's something to go by with. HPCL, ICRA has assigned a long-term assure rating of AAA with a stable outlook for HPCL. Mindtree, they've launched their US Network Operations Center. So I don't know whether that moves the needle immediately on Mindtree, but we'll have to wait and watch out for this development's impact on the business. And then, of course, Shilpa Medicare, we already highlighted this one. They've received a Form 483 for one of their key units in Hyderabad with 10 observations. So I think that would have a bit of a sentiment curb on the stock. But what about the internals, Siddharth?
Well, we are still languishing around those yesterday's low, Tanveer, as far as Nifty is concerned, and we are not seeing any meaningful selling after that initial 30-35 points downtake on Nifty. If you look at, and I'll like to talk some of the gainers, Balkrishna Industry, we have been extensively discussing this stock. Some of our experts have been bullish also. That stock, now at all-time high again, almost 3% up. So that's one stock to watch out for. We were discussing about Amara Raja Battery, that has started quite well. Balrampur Chini from sugar space, Dalmia Cement, Tata Communication, and around 1% only. These are the stocks in FNO segment which are doing well. But important observation is that Infosys and Reliance up by 0.5% despite market being weak. We were talking about how Reliance has been adding long position, IT has been in positional uptrend, so that some trend is still visible. On expected grounds, most of the metal spaces have started down. We haven't seen any great shorting pressure in last few trading sessions, but yes, metal is under pressure. If you look at some of the other names, Aisha Motor has started a bit soft. We are seeing some of the PSU names like Indian Bank, PNB. These are also starting bit soft, Aisha, Tanveer and Nikunj. I believe, let's see if we go substantially below this 10,070, 10,080 mark. I think that is when the panic level would start and people would start talking about whether this psychological support of 10,000 will hold or not.